Apple is not comfortable with Donald Trump's comments about a whole bunch of issues. As a result, they are not going to be supporting the Republican National Convention in July. It's really common for big companies like Apple to support both conventions, sort of as a general rule, politics aside. And there's actually a bunch of companies that have bailed on the Republican National Convention this year. Most of them are not specifically mentioning Donald Trump, but some have privately said they don't want their name in anything that is even remotely associated with the presumptive Republican nominee. And officials at Apple are declining to comment specifically, but the company's move was first reported by Politico. It was relayed to Republican officials. It was described by two people briefed on the decision, and they were told that they are not to discuss it publicly. And Apple's chief executive, Tim Cook, has been pretty frequently targeted by Donald Trump because of the company's use of Chinese manufacturing, which, of course, Donald Trump's companies also do, and their fight with the United States government over the unlocking of iPhones or other technology and encryption, etc. And someone who was briefed on Apple's decision believes that the company objected not only to things Donald Trump has said on trade with China, as well as data encryption, but specifically mentioned his comments about Muslims and immigrants. And Apple pulling out of this by itself is not like a huge blow to the convention. Usually they donate equipment. Back in 2008, it was $140,000 worth of equipment that they donated. But the underlying theme we're seeing, that a whole bunch of companies, including JP Morgan Chase and Ford Motor Company, they want nothing to do with what they see as a pretty toxic situation on the Republican side. This can't be thrilling Republican insiders.
No, Apple is one of those companies where it makes way more sense for Apple to be involved with the convention because, okay, they give the people the products, the people are using the products, people see the products, it's like an advertisement, it's a big advertisement.
Yeah.
Not so much with these other companies. And so I was kind of surprised by this. I mean, you don't have to endorse Trump. I mean, taking part in the convention is not an endorsement of Trump.
No, it's not. And it sort of makes sense to me, big picture, that people and companies would be ashamed to be in any way associated with the 2016 Republican Party based on everything we've talked about for the last 4 years. The problem is if Trump does win, Rachel, things could get awkward pretty quick, couldn't they? And this is sort of why big companies like Apple that want to be sort of seen as ubiquitous technology providers just say, hey, this isn't political. Everybody's using our technology. That's it.
Right. I mean, I don't necessarily think it would get super awkward if he does become president. I just was kind of wondering now how strategic of a move that is if they're thinking their shareholders or more liberal clientele that they don't want to necessarily offend, or if it really is the company's opinion themselves, but kind of weighing the cost and benefit of, okay, not having this type of advertisement at the convention versus kind of making this large a political statement.
Yeah, it's hard for me to imagine that they've made that calculation because really everybody uses Apple. I mean, liberals, conservatives use Apple, all sorts of businesses use Apple. And you would think, well, it's a business. They made a business decision. It just feels like it goes beyond that because I don't really know that there would be that much negative business impact of being associated with the RNC. It does seem like they're going above and beyond and making a political statement.
Yeah, agreed. So I say good for Apple, right?
Hey, by all means, private company, they can do whatever they want. Publicly traded, but it's an individual company.